Oh boy, I've never opened a video like this, but yeah, I'm just here to report the news. And yeah, from the title, you can probably tell this is gonna be a pretty hard one to read. Anyways, let's jump right into it and go over all the new stuff we got in this hotfix. To apply the new hotfix, make sure you're playing online, and if you're at the main menu, you should see a box pop up in the corner that says 1010G. If you have that, you are good to go. Starting out, we're gonna go over the nerfs first and then cover the buffs after. I would prefer to end the video on a higher note. So there was a lot of balancing done to bring items in order with other items, and starting out we have the Magic Barrage. If you don't know, the Magic Barrage was a non-unique spell that hit pretty hard, and they brought it down to balance with the other spells in the game. Now it's going to be a little bit confusing to word because there's a bunch of different forms of the Magic Barrage, so I'm going to keep it simple for the video. Pretty much all of the barrages that aren't the channel cast where you charge up one hard-hitting projectile, they all got a buff. You can see here we got increased damage on most of them and also better cooldown, but when it comes to the concentrated Magic Barrage, this took a hard hit. This will be the one you charge up and release for one high damage projectile. You can see they reduced the damage scaling by 45%, radius scaling by 66%, gave it a longer cooldown scaling of 5%, and instead of getting an extra projectile for fully charging it, you now get extra damage instead. On the bright side, they did reduce the charging time by half a second. For the next one, the White Rider's single beam now does less damage, so it was brought down by 11.8%. I guess the single beam was getting scaled twice, and they wanted the dual beam to have a use. Alright, onto the pistols. These are the ones I was kind of dreading to talk about, but it has to be done. Reduced the Masterwork handbow damage scaling by 30.8%, and a crit damage bonus by 50%. That is a pretty hard hit, so I'm curious to see how it performs after this nerf. Up next, they reduced the Catatumbo's damage scaling by 6.67%, reduced the Queen's Cry damage scaling by 15%. That one I don't really understand. The Queen's Cry didn't really seem all that great. Like, it just got by for mobbing, not quite your bossy material in my opinion. So yeah, that one did take a hit. Reduced Pookie's Chew Toy damage scaling by 28.8%. For those who don't know, this was a guaranteed blue master you got for a mission reward. Then we have reduced Ruby's Spy damage scaling by 30.8%. That is quite a hit. And of course, everybody's favorite pistol, the Liquid Cooling, has been nerfed too. Now, they didn't tell us how much it got nerfed by, but they did say it was getting far more damage than intended. And for the final one, I'm not quite sure if this is going to be a nerf or not because they worded it a little bit weird. For the Clawbringer, the all passive properly scales to the Fate Maker instead of giving a flat rate. From the wording here, I can't really tell if it's a nerf or buff at the time, but nonetheless, it has been changed. Whew, okay, with all of that out of the way now, let's go over the good stuff, all the buffs, all the new events and whatnot. This week, we do have a new event called Fortune Encounters, and what this is the crystal dice at the end of random encounters in the overworld will now give more loot and moon orbs. So yeah, just run around in grass, find some enemies, or find a camp, and you can farm that stuff up. As for the Chaos Chamber, we do have a new feature to run, and this time it will feature Banshee and the King. On top of that, the dedicated drop rate for these bosses will go up too. Moving on to the change notes here, you should now be getting your achievement for completing the Walk the Stalk side mission. They patched up a hole in Queen's Gate. I'm not sure where, but apparently there was a hole. If you found the Butt Stallion Pack cosmetics and ever picked them up, they used to be stuck in your inventory and could not be sold. That should now be fixed. Fire spell drops have been changed so they don't drop for early game. Now they drop at their appropriate level. All 4 of these secret bosses in the Chaos Chamber now have a higher chance to drop their dedicated drops. The Quad Bow and Thunder Anima are now added as world drops into the game. For those who don't know, these were bugged and would not drop in the first place, so now they should drop. Here's a good one. Customizations now have a brand new look. Before, they were confused with purple gear, so they were now changed to yellow beams instead. Honestly, I do think that's a pretty good change. On top of that, cosmetics now sell for double what they did before. So if you find one, make sure you sell it for a good chunk of cash. Alright, moving on here, let's go over all the item buffs. The non-unique Arc Torrent spell got a buff. Basically, this is a channel cast where you charge it up and release a lightning bolt from the sky. And yeah, now it hits a lot harder. The non-unique Eruption spells got a buff too, since their base damage was increased from 20 to 24. Non-unique Hydra spells got a buff, so instead of one charge, you're now going to have 2 charges for them. Non-unique Sigil spells got a buff, so now they have double the damage. Again, these are for non-unique, so none of the legendary spells got touched. Moving on here, we do have a nice buff for snipers, so they all got a flat 20% buff. Honestly, that's a pretty good buff, and hopefully they're going to perform a lot better too. Up next, we have Poison SMGs that are the magic variants. They increase Hyperius, Dahlia, and Furia Poison SMGs up the magic variant by 50%. But to balance out the Furia ones, they did reduce the throw damage by 20%. I know that sounds like a nerf, but this is overall going to be a buff for Furia SMGs. And finally for the weapons, we do have our pistols. They increase the auto magic damage scaling by 50%, the gluttony damage scaling by 15.4%, and the message reload speed by 50%. Honestly, I'm pretty happy with the auto magic buff because before that weapon was, I'm gonna say it, pretty poo. Nice little buff there. Okay, onto the final bit here, we did get some changes to the backstory hero point. We do have one more nerf here. I promise this is the final one. Village Idiot was a very popular starting story for characters, and they actually adjusted it a little bit. You're still going to get your 8 points on strength, but now you're going to have -3 on wisdom too. Don't worry though, the other 3 did get buffs. If you chose Raised by Elf, you get an increase on dexterity from 2 to 4, and an increase on attunement from 0 to 2. For Failed Monk, you're getting an increase on wisdom from 4 to 6, and intelligence from 2 to 3, and if you chose Rogue Alchemist, you're getting an increase on attunement from 0 to 2. I'm pretty sure all of these were made because they want to have people choose more than just Village Idiot. But honestly, after hearing that, I'm still going to be sticking to Village Idiot. Who doesn't like strength, you know? Anyways, that's going to be it for all the Hotfix notes today. I know it was a hard one to read off, but it had to be done. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I really hope they're just getting everything out of the way now, and hopefully we can just have positive changes for the future. And I'm really hoping it doesn't turn into another BL3 where they ended up nerfing stuff and then, you know, released a higher difficulty. And then all weapons felt weak again and they had to buff everything, and we had Apocalypse, and it just went on and on and on. I could rant about it and go on and on, but I'm just going to say now, I hope that history doesn't repeat itself. Anyways, that's going to be it for all the Hotfix notes. So do let me know what you guys think about all the changes. While I can't reply to every comment I see, I do want to let you guys know that I do read all my comments. Anyways, I hope you guys all have a great day, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.